Hello, Mark here. I'm going to go over setting up a Supertip cam arm. A couple of tips and some ideas on setting up your clutches. So let's get going. Alright, first off, please read the directions. I know a lot of people don't, they just discard these things, but this isn't Christmas morning there, dads. Let's read the directions. You'll find on the directions the parts supplied with your kit. You'll have, tungsten inserts, washers, O-rings, the M3 screws, set screws. If you receive set screws in your kit and you don't know what they're for, don't worry about it. We pretty much throw them in every kit. They're just too hard to keep, one kit without one with. They don't cost much, so that's why we do that. It'll come with a little tube of 222 purple Loctite and a T10 Torx driver. And the quantity for the items you received is for the hardware is per arm. So if you have a 3-arm set, multiply this by 3. If you got a 4-arm set, obviously times 4. Alright, first thing we're going to start with is installing the hardware inside this arm. Obviously you can see there are 6 areas along the length of this arm, 3 on one side, 3 on the opposite side, to add the hardware. The hardware you can add to this thing is a 7.0 gram tungsten insert, a 0.8 gram washer, steel washer, a Torx screw, which is you can have a maximum of 6 of those. Those are 0.3 grams. The set screws for the fixed arms on the Arctic Cat clutch and then our Rage clutches as well. The weight of that little guy doesn't mean anything anyway, so. Alright. Now that I've confused you with these different weights, let me offer a good suggestion. The first thing that I would recommend you do is if you don't have one, get a gram scale. It's better off, instead of just adding all these things up and penciling down how much everything's going to weigh, get it all on your arm. And this is just for a rough idea where you're going to be. Weigh the arm after you get the hardware in it. Okay. Now we have a gram scale they're only 15 bucks. The part number is a 108. G is in Jerry, S is in Sam. Okay. Things will fit in your pocket, fit in your toolbox. They got a replaceable battery in the back, and we have pretty good luck with them. They're accurate. We calibrate them here. So I'm not trying to do a sales ploy here. I'm just trying to help you out. This makes your life a lot easier. Okay. All right. Let's start off by installing a tungsten washer, the 7 gram guys. This is what we tell most customers to do. Is when they buy a cam arm, is to buy an arm. Say you say what you're running now is approximately say 74 grams. Okay, that's your operating proper RPM in a 3-arm clutch. You got 3 74 gram arms. Well, we like to see at least 14 grams to that arm for adjustability. So let's back that 74 down to minus 14. Let's start with a 60 gram base, and that way we can at least get 14 grams back here in the rear side of the arm, a 7 gram tungsten on one side and a 7 gram tungsten on the opposite side. Now we've got a cam arm that is 74 grams with a lot of mustard down low here. This is what gets things going in the first initial part of the shift. Okay. Alright, let's install this guy in there. Drop it in the hole. Real simple. Drop it in the hole. Personally, I like to lay him down on the table, flat surface. You can see that with a camera there. Or not in a room. Okay. Take your Torx screw, stick it on into your Torx wrench, like yay so. See? Stick it in a hole, and give her a twist on in there. Now, twist it on in there with see this little piece that hangs off, this little finger dealy or whatever they call it. Twist it in there as hard as you can, right there. Okay. From that point on, give it about no more than an 1/8 inch twist. Start with like a 1/16. You'll feel it snug up. That's all you need. You don't need to just reef these things in there. I mean, you can put enough force on this to twist that head right off. Okay, and then we got to fix your cam arm. So we're trying to keep it simple by using this little piece. Just follow the simple steps I gave you. Don't forget to put Loctite on that screw. I don't recommend running these cam irons without Loctite at any time. I don't care if it's during setup or whatever. I do not recommend it. Okay. Now let's install it on the opposite side. Tungsten, drop her in the hole. Screw into the Torx wrench. There we go. Zinger right on in there. Twist it with my fingers. 1/16 of a turn. Boom. Done. Okay. Looks just like that. Get a good look at that. Okay. Lots of mass. That will make your clutching happy. Now, let me explain the steel washers. You cannot add any more than 4 washers to each area, okay? 4 washers to each area or 1 tungsten. You can't put a washer under the tungsten. Can't put a washer on top of the tungsten. The reason for this is the weight will be too thick from side to side. It'll be too fat. It'll rub on the inside of your spider. Most OEM spiders, this will rub on the inside of your spider if it goes any thicker than this, okay? Alright, let's install 4 washers. Stack them up on the location. 1, 2, 3. I pick these guys up. 4. I like to lay it down. Nothing moves. I don't drop them on the floor. They're tiny little parts. Or little screw on the end of the old Torx bit. In the hole it goes. Spin around in there. I'm pulling up off the table just so you can see what I'm doing here. I usually I like to leave them straight and put this wrench vertically as I'm installing them. Again, once you'll get used to how tight these actually have to be. I don't even use this little piece on the back anymore. I just give her a little twist and I'm done. Alright, there's the 4 washers. Okay, notice that it's at the same thickness from the center line of this cam arm as the tungsten is to this point. Again, no more than 4 or it will rub inside your spider. Now, if you use 1 washer, 2 washers, or 3 washers, you have to have an O-ring under it. The reason for this is so that that washer does not vibrate and shake around in there. So let's install 2 washers on, like, say, this opposite side here. We already got the 4 and the 1. Let's put the 2 on this side, on the left-hand side. First we do is we take O-ring, slip it over that boss. Okay. O-ring has to be under the washer, not on top of the washer, under the washer, in the directions. Okay. Now, again, I'm going to lay the cam arm down. It's a lot easier to work with this way. Drop the washer on. Drop another washer on. Of course, this is the easiest way to do it. Stick it right on the end of the dang thing. Don't take your fingers and try to put it in a hole. You'll go nuts. This is the easiest way to do this. Okay, hold on the side of the screw like I do on my finger. Get it in the hole. And away she goes. Torx screws are the best thing God ever invented in this planet. Now, it's a little tricky when you get these washers on these posts. See if you have a couple of them. What will happen is it's not really centered as you get it on there. You have to take and push it side. See, I got to push the bottom washer sideways so it's centered around that diameter there. Okay, and then just gently screw on there, and you'll feel it slide on over the top of the post. That's the key here. And as she gets down, don't go crazy. You'll feel her get snug. And it's going to feel a little tougher now because there's an O-ring under. You're smashing an O-ring. You'll feel that screw stop. Just give her a little twist beyond that, the 16th turn like I said. And there you go. Now again, 1 washer, you have to have an O-ring under it. 2 washers, gotta have an O-ring. 3 washers, gotta have an O-ring. 4 washers, no O-ring. Tungsten, no O-ring. Okay. All right, and don't forget Loctite. That's important. It's in the instructions.